You're watching NBA Now. I am Harrison Graham. 5 players that NBA teams should not trade for this offseason. The NBA offseason is upon us, and a lot of these names are sexy, but I'm telling you right now, do not trade for them. And let's start with Blake Griffin. Producer Sam is in shambles as he is an Oklahoma grad, but the truth is that the guy just can't stay healthy. I'm sorry. He can't stay healthy. If I knew I was getting fully healthy Blake Griffin, this would be different, but he wasn't the same guy last year even when he did play. 2 years, over $70 million left on that contract. His best days are clearly behind him. He doesn't have that same bounce that he used to have. Still a good athlete, not a premier athlete. Certainly he's improved other areas of his game. He's become a better three-point shooter, but last year in limited action, just in 18 games, not a good showing from the former star with the Clippers, who has not been the same with the Pistons. 15.5 points, less than 5 rebounds, 35% from the field. Not from 3, from the field. That's not very good for a guy who's on the wrong side of 30 and is trending in the wrong direction. Don't trade for Blake Griffin. I know the Pistons are going to try and move his contract. I'm telling you right now, if I was an NBA team, if I was running an NBA organization, I don't want any part of Blake Griffin, maybe more than any other player on my list. Don't touch him. I'm not taking a chance on Blake Griffin. What I am taking a chance on, and something I've already done, is gotten some of these sweet NBA face coverings. Got a couple of Mavs ones right up here in the studio. We'll rock one every day coming into the office. Chatsports.com/NBA mask. You get that 4-pack right there. It's going to last you months because these are high-quality stuff. You can give one to your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, whatever it is. Chatsports.com/NBA mask. We got all 30 NBA teams, 1-packs all the way up to 4-packs just for you guys. Go to that link. It's in the comments. It's in the description. Chatsports.com/NBA mask. You click there. Boom. You can shop and pick out your favorite NBA face covering today. I want to go to some games next year. Wear a face mask. Next up, Kevin Love. Let's talk about another big here. Not a guy who's dealt with injuries like Blake has, but quite frankly, the Cavs made a mistake by signing him to that Supermax deal. They freaked out when LeBron left and was like, oh, we got to keep Kevin Love. But why? They've regretted it ever since. And you know why? Because he has 3 years and over $90 million left on his contract. Still a nice player, pretty good, but he is not a superstar, and he is not a max player, which is what the Cavs paid him to be. Yeah, 17.5 points. He'll still get you 17 or 18 and 10. He can shoot the ball well. Good three-point shooter. We know all that good stuff, but this is a third wheel on a title team at best, right? Like, he's not going to be a number 2 on a contending team. Maybe he's a number 3, but at this point, even that's a stretch in my opinion. His stats are a little bit inflated because he plays on a bad Cleveland team. Like, if anything, you would think maybe he would average 24 or 25 with the Cavs like he did with the Timberwolves back in the day before they traded him to Cleveland. He was like a 24 and 15 guy. Now he's a 17 and 10 guy, and he's the only real established player on that team. I don't want any part of him. Do not trade for Kevin Love this offseason if you're an NBA team. Would I rather have him than Blake Griffin? Probably, because he's healthy, he's got title experience, and I just don't know what Griffin's situation is there because he can't stay healthy. But I'll let you guys decide. Pick a big. Who would you rather have? Type BG for Blake Griffin. Type KL for Kevin Love. If you're watching this after our live show, this will be the pinned comment on today's video. So type BG for Blake or type KL for Kevin Love. Next up here is DeMar DeRozan for the San Antonio Spurs. Kind of a unique one because he does have a player option for over $27 million. I expect he will opt in. Obviously, if he doesn't, he's a free agent, so you can forget him on this list. But if he opts in, you're thinking, oh man, less than $30 million, that's cheaper than the other guys. DeRozan's a good player, right? Yeah, he's a good player. The problem is he doesn't fit in with today's NBA at all. He is an inefficient scorer who can't shoot the ball from 3. That's a problem in today's NBA. Like, if you're not going to be a three-point shooter, you better be the best mid-range shooter in NBA history. He's a good one. He's a great mid-range guy. He's not automatic, though. It's not like he's Kawhi, where Kawhi was shooting, like 85% from mid-range in the playoffs or whatever it was. He's good. Not good enough from that area, though. Getting older, too. He's still solid. Put up some numbers with the Spurs, 22 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.6 assists. Field goal percentage is nice, but again, he can't shoot the ball from 3. Greg Popovich was basically just told him, just don't shoot threes anymore. So he didn't, because he couldn't make any of them. I like DeRozan. Seems like a good dude. I felt bad for him when the Raptors traded him and they won a title the year after. But even he admitted recently, was I the problem? Because he watched his old team win a title without him. It's not that you were the problem. It's that Kawhi was the solution, because he was a major, major upgrade. If you're trading for a superstar, you're expecting that player to be the difference in potentially winning a title. I don't believe DeMar DeRozan is. So if I'm a team, I'm not trading for him this offseason. So who's the better player? A couple of Spurs players. You could certainly throw Aldridge on this list, but I think he is worth trading for with the right fit. Type DD for DeMar DeRozan, type LA for LaMarcus Aldridge. I think DeRozan is probably a better pure player, but I think Aldridge is more value because he is a stretch big who can shoot, he can rebound, he can offer some different things, whereas DeRozan, not a very good three-point shooter. So I'm going to go ahead and type LA for LaMarcus Aldridge. What I'm also going to do is encourage you guys to subscribe because, hey, if any of these guys get traded, if there's a big blockbuster trade this offseason, I promise you we're going to have a video on it pretty quickly because that's what we do here at Chat Sports. We'll either go live or we'll have a video on the channel as soon as possible. So subscribe, turn on notifications. Our coverage is ramping up even more now that the offseason is here. So go ahead and subscribe. That link below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Share that with a friend. It helps us out. It grows the community, the NBA community here on Chat Sports. We're trying to catch up to the NFL subscribers. Next up is Chris Paul, and a lot of you guys are probably thinking, Chris Paul just had an awesome year. He was great. OKC, what a story. Yeah, that's all true. You know what else is also true? Before this past season, dude couldn't stay healthy. The Rockets are always going to be asking what if Chris Paul doesn't pull his hamstring in the conference finals against the Golden State Warriors. Chris Paul's great. He's also 35 years old. What are the chances he has a season that he had this year again and stays healthy while doing it at that advanced age? I don't think they're very high, and I'm not taking the chance when he has 2 years and $85 million left on his contract. I'm not doing it. It's way too much money. It's been a great story, and honestly, I think a team's going to sucker into trading for him. Probably the Knicks, because that is something the Knicks would do. And good for the Thunder because Sam Presti has figured things out when it comes to trading players. Great story last year. Bounced back. He was really good. Stayed healthy. Played in 70 games. Chris Paul is one of the best players to never win a ring. But at the end of the day, he's 35. He's getting up there in age. I just don't think it's super likely that we get a super healthy and high-level play from Chris Paul at his age 35, 36 season next year. I don't like those odds. So I'm not going to trade for him. Maybe I would trade for him a year from now. I can deal with the $40+ million on a 1-year deal, but 2 years and 85, man, that is hefty for anybody, much less an aging 35-year-old CP3. I can't trade for him if I'm running an organization. But I'll leave it up to you guys. Would you trade for Chris Paul? Y for yes, N for no. I suppose there's always exceptions to just about anything here. But overall, I got to say no. I am not trading for Chris Paul this offseason. And I'm sure as hell not trading for Russell Westbrook. I am officially out on Westbrook. No more Westbrook. He tried to sucker me back into it, but in January and February when he looked like an MVP, but guess what? The NBA shut down, it came back, and Westbrook got to his old ways, his selfish ball control crap that he does, his bad three-point shooting at inopportune times. He's just a bad player in key situations. He's always going to put up the huge numbers. He's always going to have the highlight reel dunks. But when it comes down to it, he's not a winning piece. He is not a winning piece, and that is why when the Rockets traded for him, I thought it was a desperate move from that organization. Look at the numbers. They look great, right? Like, sure, yeah, this and that. But you know what he does? He turns the ball over in crunch time. Chris Paul owned him in that series. The Thunder should have never taken the Rockets to 7 games. You know why they did? Because Westbrook was bad and Chris Paul was good. Like, I cannot trade for Russell Westbrook if I am an NBA organization because it's over at this point. Like, he's not a winning piece. And you're even hearing murmurs like teams don't want Russell Westbrook at this point. He's 31. Some injuries have creeped up quietly. And at the end of the day, like I said, he's just not a winning piece on a contending team. He's just not. He's best suited with like a bad team that can put butts in the seats. But guess what? There's no fans right now anyway. So, the Rockets have a lot of decisions to make. I think they'll at least flirt with trading Westbrook, but I'm not trading for him. Not if I'm in charge. No way, Jose. I'm not trading for Russell Westbrook. So pick a point guard, CP or Russell Westbrook type RW. I'd probably rather trade for Chris Paul, and that's saying a lot with that contract and his age. I'm so out on Westbrook at this point, and it's disappointing because I was a Russ defender for a long time. Can't do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore, so I'm typing CP for Chris Paul. And just to recap these 5 players not to trade for, don't trade for Blake Griffin. Kevin Love, no way. DeRozan, you can hang out in San Antonio. Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, these are 5 guys that are sexy names. They've had good careers, but I don't want to trade for them because they're older, their contracts aren't good, and I don't think they're the difference in a team winning a championship. These are 5 players that I would not trade for this offseason.